Hello, my name is Sean Geddes, and today I will be discussing the ethics around the English major. This is my undergraduate major, and there are a few ethical dilemmas that take place within it. The most notable being the lack of diversity within authors of this major. So, although there is a lack of diversity within this major, this is not the only ethical dilemma that arises. A couple of other issues that take place within this major have to do with the coursework. So, for instance, an ethical dilemma arises when someone creates a thesis without any information. A thesis thrives off of evidence. When there is no evidence, the thesis doesn't work because the student is coming up with a claim with nothing to back it up. Therefore, no one knows what they are talking about, and no one likes that. Another ethical dilemma I want to mention are group projects. Yes, group projects are very good for learning. I learn very well with them because I like to collaborate off of my peers. However, it doesn't work when not everyone contributes anything to the conversation and one person is doing all the work. So that fails because one person is doing all the work and is feeling stressed out, and everyone else is kind of taking a ride along without doing anything. So, shifting back to the ethical dilemma of the lack of diversity of authors, I read an article in which identifies the problem of the lack of diversity in literature. In an article titled Lack of Diversity in Literature by Ellie Potishman, posted on February 28th, 2022, the author claims that she had to, quote, actively search for diverse books when looking for books in the fantasy genre. She claims that the fantasy genre is about making your own rules and not to follow along with cultural norms. This is lacking not only in the fantasy genre, but across many other genres within the English major. As a result, the reader only gets one perspective, which is usually the straight white male or female, which are heterosexual. You don't have a lot of heteronormativity in these articles, although they are trying now. And it's also part of my solution. So, my solution is that I'll provide to this problem is attempting to pick more diverse authors and topics when covering topics in English literature. With some courses, it is very hard to do as there are major author courses that the major requires students to take. So they can't deviate off of works without covering the major author. But what can happen is there are questions that could be asked, such as what does gender have to do with Shakespeare? What does sexuality have to do with Shakespeare? And what does race have to do with Shakespeare? I'm not saying that these were questions asked, I'm just using it as an example. But where the flexibility is flexible, you can choose adaptations where they are more inclusive to diversity. So using leads that are Hispanic, black, anything that are homosexual, anything that pertains to diversity will help. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this video.